Here's something that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about expansion teams in professional sports. Most rookie franchises are supposed to struggle, right? Well, the Golden State Valkyries just shattered that expectation in the most spectacular way possible. The Valkyries absolutely demolished the Chicago Sky 90-59 on Friday night at Wintrust Arena. And here's the kicker. They've now officially become the most successful expansion team in WNBA history. But here's where it gets controversial. Some critics argue that modern expansion teams have unfair advantages compared to those from the 1990s. With their commanding victory in Chicago, the Valkyries improved to an impressive 18-15 record, surpassing the previous expansion team record held by the 1998 Detroit Shock, who finished 17-13. That 31-point blowout wasn't just their biggest margin of victory this season. It was a statement that has everyone asking, are we witnessing something truly special, or is the WNBA's competitive balance shifting? Head coach Natalie Nakase made a pivotal decision following their August 6th loss to Las Vegas. Instead of sugarcoating their situation, she looked her players straight in the eye and declared something that most expansion team coaches wouldn't dare say in their inaugural season. This team is trying to make the playoffs, and this is the part most people miss. That bold proclamation might have been the psychological turning point that transformed everything. After we lost to Vegas, and we were still right there in the standings, we said, this is a must-win against Los Angeles, Nakase explained. That's when we started saying, look where we are right now. We can't control other teams winning or losing. All we can control is ourselves. Our new goal is to make the playoffs. And so ever since we said that we are in a must-win situation, it's kind of come to fruition. The numbers tell an incredible story. The Valkyries torched the Sky with a blistering 51.9% shooting performance from beyond the three-point arc, connecting on 14 of their 27 attempts. This surpassed even their previous season-high three-point percentage they had established just 2 nights earlier in Washington. But here's what's really fascinating, and potentially controversial, is how dramatically different this expansion experience has been compared to historical norms. Rookie sensation Janelle Salaün dropped 15 points and caught fire immediately, nailing 3 three-pointers in the opening quarter alone. After the game, she asked reporters about playoff scenarios and clinching scenarios. Imagine that level of confidence from a first-year player on an expansion roster. We're just here to win, Salaün declared with the kind of swagger that would make veteran teams jealous. We don't really care about if we are an expansion team or not. We just want to win. That's how we approach the game every night. Cecilia Zandalasini matched her career high with 20 points for the second consecutive game, while Iliana Rupert contributed a perfect 14 points on 4-for-4 shooting from three-point range off the bench. The Valkyries' current 4-game winning streak has catapulted them past the Indiana Fever, 18-16, into 6th place in the standings, a half game ahead after Indiana fell to Washington on the same night. But here's where it gets really interesting and, frankly, a bit controversial. Nakase revealed that she sought advice from her mentor, former Los Angeles Clippers assistant coach Armand Hill, about how to approach playoff conversations with her team. Hill strongly encouraged her to be explicit about playoff aspirations and even suggested showing film of other teams' playoff runs during their video sessions. I don't know if this stuff is going to work, Nakase admitted with refreshing honesty. Literally, like I'm a first-year head coach. We showed them on the screen, this is what we want to do. This is our goal. Sometimes visual goals help. So I said, why not? Let's take a shot at it. The tactical execution on Friday was flawless. Golden State opened the game red hot, converting 7 of their first 10 three-point attempts in the opening quarter. They established a 12-point cushion just 2.5 minutes into the second period, though Chicago managed to trim the halftime deficit to just 42-40. However, the third quarter belonged entirely to the Valkyries, who embarked on a devastating 25-5 run while attempting 13 free throws in the period, expanding their advantage to 20 points. the defensive performance was equally impressive. Chicago, a team that typically relies heavily on interior scoring, managed just 28 points in the paint, a stark contrast to their 52 paint points in their lone victory during their current 12 of 13 game losing streak. The Sky managed only 19 total points in the entire second half, highlighting just how thoroughly Golden State controlled the game's tempo and rhythm. "I think we're playing very good, very confident," Zandalasini observed. "We know what everybody needs to do. I think we are spreading the floor very well, but also communication. I think we raised that as well." The Chicago Sky's struggles paint a contrasting picture to Golden State's success. At 8-25, they've been in absolute freefall since the All-Star break, losing 12 of their last 13 contests. This raises an uncomfortable question that many don't want to address. Is the gap between successful and struggling WNBA teams becoming too wide? Nakase's approach moving forward remains laser-focused. "Our goal now is to make the playoffs, and that's kind of what we're focused on," she emphasized. "We can't control what the teams above us and below us are doing, if they're going to win or not. So next team up, Atlanta. We have to beat Atlanta. It's a must-win." Now, here's what I want you to think about, and I'm genuinely curious about your perspective. Are the Valkyries' success challenging the traditional narrative that expansion teams should be patient and focus on development, rather than immediate competitive success? Or are they simply the beneficiaries of improved expansion policies and a more talent-rich league environment compared to the 1990s? Some argue that modern expansion teams have significant advantages: better scouting networks, more sophisticated player development systems, and access to international talent that simply didn't exist when Detroit set their record in 1998. Others contend that the Valkyries are genuinely special and that their success shouldn't be diminished by these factors. What's your take? Are we witnessing a historically great expansion team, or has the WNBA's evolution made it easier for new franchises to compete immediately? And more provocatively, should other struggling franchises be embarrassed that a first-year team is outperforming them? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is far from over, and I have a feeling your opinions might be more divided than you'd expect.